I'm Carol with Project NOSH, and I'm here with Phil Lapp of Neat Foods. So thank you so much for chatting with us today. Can you tell us a little bit about Neat Foods, how it came about, how it was started?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Carol. Neat Foods simply started out of our kitchen in 2011. Our daughters became little animal rights activists after watching something on TV where they decapitated an animal, probably on a cooking show, and they connected the dots that they didn't want to eat animals anymore, so we kind of had a protein problem on our hands. My wife is a neuroscientist by trade, so she's obviously pretty sharp, and she went out and found that a lot of the meat alternatives were soy-based or had gluten and a lot of chemicals. So we're like, why make this trade-off if it's not going to actually enhance our health? We still wanted the experience of eating meat, having a family taco night, burgers and whatnot. So she developed Neat, which is pecans, garbanzo beans, and some seasoning. It passed the kid test. We're eating this product on the first or second night, and our daughter said, "Mom, this isn't meat, this is Neat." And I kind of thought to myself, that sounds like a really cool name. So that's where the name Neat came from. Actually shelf-stable, by the way. So you take a pouch of Neat and you add water to it and an egg or an egg alternative, mix it up and brown it in a skillet. It takes about 6 or 7 minutes.
Meat alternatives kind of started out in the frozen section. You think of,
Right.
Veggie burgers and corn. How have you seen them move throughout the grocery store? And what do you think that's sort of indicative of in America's eating habits?
Yeah, 36% of all U.S. consumers now are eating meat alternatives on a regular basis. Our market is really this flexitarian, meatless Monday consumer that you can find in an everyday grocery store that for a day a week wants to exchange meat for a plant-based diet. So we actually developed it shelf-stable because we knew that we could sell it easier into grocery. It would be much more adaptable for consumers at home. They could make Neat their own. They could make their own flavors. But the slotting up front, just the overall investment for us was much less than going head-to-head with some of these big frozen guys that have lives in the freezer and whatnot, and really are paying for that up front in the form of slotting.
That's great. Sounds like a really successful strategy. How fast have you grown to all these stores?
Well, we were here 3 years ago for the first time. We were just in a few stores in Lancaster, PA. We have a few things going for us. We have a very strong brand name. We have a good product. Neat is one of the only truly natural meat alternatives. And by the way, we're not trying to copy meat. We're trying to take nuts and beans, things that are good for you, and incorporate them into use occasions in your diet that are kind of everyday meals. So you could do a burger, meatball, taco, and whatnot. So we launched it at Expo East. We had the brand, we had the timing right, we had the product down, we have a socially responsible mission. We employ people that are blind and visually impaired to make our products. So we established pillars very early on that consumers really connected with. And consumers these days, Gen X and Y, want to connect with their brands that they support beyond just a purchase. What do these brands stand for? So that was our launching pad. We went into Whole Foods regions, Wegmans, and grew 500,000 stores, now about 2,500 stores. So we're just going where the market tells us to go at this point.
Wow, that's some amazing growth. So I know you have an egg replacement,
Right.
and we've seen some issues around Hampton Creek being told by the FDA that they can't call their product just mayo because it doesn't contain eggs, as well as some possible issues with the American Egg Board. What's sort of your take on this as a company that has another egg replacement, and what are your concerns that you're thinking about in regards to your own product?
Yeah, I can't speak specifically to the issues with Hampton Creek. I'm not aware of what some of those are, but I have heard about it, obviously. We developed the Neat Egg in response to a market need to have a clean, shelf-stable egg alternative. So it has 2 ingredients, one's a binder, one's leavening properties, creating the perfect egg. We have a worldwide trademark on the Neat Egg. And I think overall, without talking specifically to the issues with Hampton Creek, people need to exercise some common sense. We wouldn't really know what else to call our product. It's sold in the baking aisle as an egg alternative, and we should ultimately let consumers decide really, I think, how they associate names with products and whatnot. But it's not on our radar at this point. We just made a really great product. It's out there in the baking aisle, and we'll ultimately see. Hopefully we won't be lumped into that category. I think when you're somebody as big as Hampton Creek, you probably have a bullseye on you, and that probably comes with the territory. So we're proud of what they're doing, quite frankly, in the world of plant-based proteins.
Well, you certainly have a delicious product. So
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for chatting with us today, and hope you have a great rest of the expo.
Thanks for having us, Carol. Appreciate it.